Hey YouTube, Kimmie Fortune. Welcome to my channel all about Kimmie Fortune. This is a little chit-chat correspondence between myself and you. I want to give you a little background on myself. I know you've seen my Temu hauls and other shopping hauls. I haven't did much in the salon with my vlog, but I wanted to really have a sit down with the subscribers and those who are watching me right now. My name is Kimmie Fortune. I'm a 63-year-old single grandmother. I have 2 adult children and 12 grandchildren. I'm single at this time. I'm really getting out of, I've been 3 years out of a 14-year toxic relationship. It was all smoke and screens, cloak and dagger. And I'm not mad. It's an experience in life that I have been through. And when it hit the fan, I am just so happy that I was over it. But giving you a little information, a little history on that. By me being 63, since my first marriage, he was 3 years older than me. My second marriage, he was 1 year younger. And the third marriage, he was 5 years younger. Yes, I've tied the knot a few times. The men I've dated wanted to have a commitment with me, but it turns out it was a control thing. And I'm not buying it. I'm not that girl, that woman, that lady. That's not me. I feel like I have a role to play, a position to play in a relationship. And I put my all in it. But when I'm not getting back what I feel they should be putting into the relationship, when I'm not getting that, there's a communication regarding it. And when it's not resolved, there's a separation. That's just me. I have zero tolerance for any nonsense. Now, this last relationship I was in for longer than I was with any of my husbands. 14 years. He was kind. He was supportive. But he was not who I thought he was. He was living a double life. This man, 8 years younger than myself. He tried it in the beginning of our relationship. Told me that there was a young lady who he was friends with. They were really good friends, and she had a son, and the father wasn't in the picture, and he was there trying to help her. And he tried it. But my response to that is, if you want to take care of another woman and her child, then you can tell that story walking. Because you're not going to be in a relationship with me supporting and caring for another woman and her child. So that killed that. In 2019, It was October 2019. Well, let's go back. My birthday, 2019, July. I had a big birthday party celebration. And I mean, it was a big to-do. I was turning, is that 59? I was turning 59. And I had just bought my house. And I had a lot of guests over. The menu was fabulous. We had Thanksgiving, 4th of July, and Easter all rolled up in one for my birthday. We had turkey and dressing and greens and ham and yams. We had barbecue potato salad, coleslaw. You know, it was all of the holidays wrapped in one to celebrate my birthday, which is the 3rd of July. We had the event on the 3rd of July. And my boyfriend of 14 years wasn't there. He had been missing in action in a lot of events and family events and stuff like that. But, you know, he would show up when I wanted to do something, travel, go to a play or to a concert. He showed up and showed out for that. But he missed my birthday. I was PO'd. I was angry. And I'm stubborn. I'm a stubborn woman. I hold a grudge. I'll be totally honest. I hold a grudge. And I think that helps me get past heartbreaking situations by me holding that grudge. And I know you're probably not supposed to, but I do. So I hadn't heard from him. Come the 6th of July, I said, let me call his mom. Because his mom and I never really had a relationship. But the last couple of, like 2017, when my father passed away, his mother was there for me. And we started to build a relationship. We didn't have a chance to get too close because I ended it. But we started to have conversations and plan luncheons and stuff like that. So I called her. I'm like, okay, this man don't miss no meals. He's not going to miss all that food. Let me see what's going on. So I called his mom, like, I haven't heard from him. He missed my birthday. She was like, girl, he is fighting for his life. Right now they have him in a coma. And all his family has been there. And, we're trying to keep people away because they have to keep him sedated heavily in a semi-coma state so his vessels, because he had an aortic aneurysm that nearly ruptured. He had a 2% chance of surviving it because he was an athlete. He was able to survive and sustain. So I was devastated because I was angry at this man, cursing him from the floor to the head, to the top of his head, to the bottom of his toes. I was cursing him. But when his mom told me that, I felt really bad. Excuse me. So I was like, well, where is he? I need to see him. She was like, oh no. Nobody can see him because they're keeping him sedated and he's fighting for his life and we need to keep him calm. I'm like, excuse me? I've been his girlfriend, live-in girlfriend, for 14 years. You just described to me 300 people that's been there at the hospital. But yet, I'm not allowed to come to the hospital? Ding, 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 ding. Red flags. I'm like, okay, if I'm not there, someone's there. by his side, being supportive. It's not me, so it's someone. Me, being who I am, stubborn, I'm like, okay, I got you. I blocked him. I blocked her. I blocked everybody connected to him. Good luck and goodbye. So I didn't hear, that was PO. I get this call from, it was his son, who I never really had his number, or he had mine, so he reached out to me. And you know what his son said to me? He said, you're turning his back on him. I'm turning my back on him. I've been forbidden to come to the hospital when all of you guys are there. That tells me my position in his life. I was angry. I'm like, I'm good. Don't bother calling me again. I'm good. So I go on about my business, living my life. I guess he gets discharged and he comes to see me, not, slow motion, because that's a pretty serious procedure he had done. That was pretty life-threatening. He's slow motion, fragile, and he wants to come and cry on my shoulder that I wasn't there for him. And his mom was just looking out for him. Yes, he was looking out for you, all right. She was keeping me from being there so that somebody else could be there. So I'm good with it. I wish you luck. I wish you well. Wish you good health. Goodbye. So I cut off communications. He got in touch with me like in October, a few days before Swedish Day. I love you, the only woman I ever loved. We need to talk. Let me take you to breakfast. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat. So he took me to breakfast. I ate. He talked. We gotta do better. I want to be with you, and we can get married. I'm like saying to myself, I would never marry you, because out of the 14 years we were together, he stressed me out so bad. Now I'm going back into the relationship at this point. Everything I did, if I looked out the window, there was a man out there waiting for me. I'm at school, at work. You're not there, you're with some man. He always accused me of cheating, and I wasn't a cheat. I was accomplishing things. Opening a salon, working, finishing a degree. I was always accomplishing something in my life. And he seemed like he would hammer it down. Like when I was searching for my first house, to buy a bigger house, he downplayed it. Oh, this house is haunted and you shouldn't get this house. I'm like, well, if it's haunted, that goes better move over, because we don't live together. And I bought my house. He helped me put it together, whining and complaining the whole way. You're a slave driver. I work 2 jobs. You're a slave driver. I'm like, if you want to turn a key in this bad boy, you better get down and get some work done. And he did. We got the house together. Very nice home. But all the while, him stressing me, coming up to my job, and when he come in the house, he'd be looking around, opening closets, looking in closets. I'm like, really? What are you looking for? Who did this? I have a degree in interior design, an arts degree. And I focus on interior design, 3-dimensional design. So I can build some stuff. Because I work right along beside him putting that house together. But when something new had been done to the house, he accused me of having a man. You didn't do that. I'm like, You don't know me. You don't know me. You know I can do these things. But he always accused me of a man. He always accused me. After my job, I'm calling him up, talking to him on the way home. Like, look, the job and everybody's going out to eat. We're going to this restaurant. Would you like to join us? No. With a real attitude. I'm like, okay. Know that you were invited, so goodbye. I'll see you later. I get to the restaurant. I'm really irritated, but I'm trying to enjoy myself with my coworkers. I'm sitting at the bar sipping on a peach martini. I get a pay. Is there a Kimmie Fortune at the bar? I'm like, huh? Yeah, it's me. I come to the phone. It's him. I thought she was lying. I was like, really? Click. When I bought my new car, I don't want to see that car. I'm going on a trip with my girls. Take me to the airport. I'm not taking you to the airport to go be with some man. Just weird, just crazy. And when I met him and started dating him, a coworker of mine, she was somewhat of a reader. I was telling her about him and I was excited, and she was like, what sign is he? What is his birthday? She said, he's going to be a good provider, but he is going to wear you out because he is very insecure. And he did. He was just that. His thing is that I'm not insecure. I'm not following behind you. No, but you are verbally badgering me. Always accusing me of being with a man. I go to school. Who is that in the background? It's people walking in the background talking. I had a Chevy Caprice Classic of 1987. Guys always stop me about buying that car for me. He would have a fit. You just got that car so you can attract guys. You know, that kind of mess. I'm like, you know what? I started to dislike him. Because just to see his number on my phone hurt me in the pit of my stomach. Like, here he go with this mess. So close to the end of our relationship, like the last 4 years, I asked him to leave, change my locks, and I did start dating. I wasn't doing any heck of a dating because I was studying for a degree and building a business, and I'm like, you know, I wasn't doing any heck of a dating, but I did start dating. He had some type of app on his phone where he can put in these fake numbers. And I'm on a boat. Yes, I was on a 4-day weekend with a gentleman on his boat. We went sailing. It was 3 couples in 3 boats. And we all went sailing for days, 4 days. I was really enjoying myself. I had him blocked where, you know, but he called me from a number that looks like my best friend number in Maryland. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm thinking something's wrong. So I answered the phone. I'm like, hello? Click. I'm not having that. I'm on a cruise enjoying myself. I'm not sleeping with nobody. We just hanging out and having fun. Goodbye. I didn't even give him, I didn't say nothing. I just hung up. But that's the kind of insecurity that he was on. I mean, a guy called me about the car because I was going to sell it because he promised to get me a new car. So I was going to sell it. So I was discussing the sale with a couple of different people. A man and he wanted to buy it for his teenage son who was graduating. A younger guy, and then this older guy wanted, you know, they all wanted to discuss buying the car. This one guy called me. He was like, "Are you busy?" I'm like, "No, we were watching a comedy show. I think we was watching like Cat Williams or something." And I was like, "I'm watching TV. Who is this? How can I help you?" And I was like, "No, we can talk later," because it was kind of late. I'm like, "I'm watching TV, so no, we're not going to talk right now about the car." This fool goes off the deep end. He wasn't calling about the car. He took my phone and threw it against the brick wall next door to my house and destroyed it. Left me without a form of communication for at least a day until I can get me another phone. But that's the kind of insecurities that he suffered. So I went through that for so many years that I did start dating. We weren't living together at that time. He kind of sort of still had access to the house, but not really. He was mad when I wouldn't leave him at my house when I traveled, because he didn't want to go anywhere with me. So I traveled on my own. You know, his thing was, I work 2 jobs, I can't go. Fine. He claimed he had to go out of town with a job. I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay. Am I going with you or what?" "No, I don't want you to take off work. Da, da, da. It's just a couple of days." And we talked a little bit, but I come to the realization of what that really was later on down the line. So getting back to 2019 October, Swedish Day. I'm at the shop in between clients. Actually, I think I was done for the day, because I had everybody before Swedish Day. The day before, I was really busy getting everybody together for their dates or whatever. And I was sitting on Facebook, and you know how Facebook pops up, someone you might know. And it was his sister. I'm like, "Oh, okay, let me check her page out. I might friend her," right? So I'm looking at her page, and then I'm looking at her friends, and I see someone with his name, and I knew everybody in his family, right? And he, the only one, had that name. So I click on that woman's page, and lo and behold, a family portrait. Him, her, and 2 little boys that look like him. I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, this explains so much. Because in 2016, I didn't have a phone in my house. I had cell phones. I get a phone call after getting off of work. I'm relaxing, cooking dinner, having a little glass of wine. And I get a phone call. A little boy. "Can I speak to my daddy?" I'm like, "Well, who is your daddy, baby?" Click. They hung up. He walks in the door like 10, 20 minutes later. I'm like, "So you got a little boy that's calling to speak to you? What you talking about? I ain't got no kids." "I don't know what you talking about. I ain't got no kids. You tripping." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Eyes open at that point. My eyes been open for a long time, because I used to tell him, the accuser is always the abuser. So quit accusing me, because evidently what you doing ain't fulfilling you enough. Don't worry about what I'm doing. So on Swedish Day, I see that family portrait. I text him a screenshot of that portrait. of that picture. He read it right away because it was Swedish Day. He thought he was getting a Swedish Day. Hey, sweetie, blah, blah, blah. No. You got, yes, this explains a lot of shit. Excuse my language. He calls me. I'm not with her. I don't care. I'm like, yeah, that explains a lot. You got a whole family that you walked away from. Because at that point, that picture was posted in 2015. At that point, when I discovered it, the oldest boy had to be about 14 or 15. So she was pregnant when we got together. And you went back and had another child with her. While you telling me you was working 2 jobs. Even though I've been up to his jobs, went and got money, blah, blah, blah. But it almost killed him trying to have 2 households. Because he wasn't turning the key in my house and wasn't doing nothing for it. So he tells me, I'm not with her. You know, I'm like, I'm going to let her know who you really are. He was like, I don't care. Matter of fact, I'm going to have her call you. Do you know that this woman blew my phone up? I let her call like 4 times before I decided, let me go ahead and answer this and see what she got to say. She's going to get on the phone talking about, I don't know what y'all got going on. He told me you was going to call. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I'm like, first of all, who calls on behalf of their cheating ass husband? That man left you and was living with me. Of course, he snuck back and did what he had to do. That's why he was so worried about what I was doing. Because of how he was doing you and me. But my hurt came from her. She wouldn't give me any details on their marriage, how long it was. Because I'm starting to wonder if he married her while he and I was in a relationship. Because she was having more kids by him or whatever. But I'm like, oh, I asked her, who calls on behalf of their cheating husband? And do you truly, really, still believe anything that comes out of his mouth? Evidently, you know about me because you are now divorced from him. Me and my kids, we're over here, we're good, I'm happy, he's your problem now, but no, he's not my problem. I'm not going to let no man be my problem. He was a heck until I got fed up. Then, of course, I was like, I'm doing me. I ain't got no rings on my finger. I do what I want to do. I own my own everything. I don't need nothing from him. But it just perplexed me that she would call to help justify whatever. Who calls on behalf of their cheating husband? He cheated on you for years. And you're going to call in support of him? Wow, no wonder he did what he did to you. His entire family helped him keep that secret from me. She knew about me because it made sense that that little child called my house in 2015 when she posted that picture on her Facebook page. He hated to see me on Facebook. People be on Facebook. Why is you on Facebook? Get away from me. I'm going to be on Facebook if I want to. it was just, I was more hurt that she probably figured and was convinced that I knew he was married to her. And I knew nothing. Nothing. And it turns out that when I found out, I was over him anyway. You know, I had started doing me. For the last 4 years, I was doing me. You know, he came around if I felt like he could come around. But it's still, we weren't like we were when we first got together, first 10 years of living together. He didn't hide me. We went to plays. We traveled all up and through the city, outside the city. I was suspicious because he was make up shit. Like, look, y'all forgive me for my mouth. He took me to see Peerless Times, which was a beautiful play. And we parked. And when we got out, he went to pay the parking guy, and the parking guy gave him an amount. He was like, well, my friend was here last night, and it was only $5. I just looked at him. I'm like, he gonna argue with this man about somebody else being it? No, he was there last night with whoever, probably his wife, ex-wife, or whatever. But I'm like, this man, and I was looking good. Everybody saw us stopped. Y'all look so good together. I'm like, I make him look good. Like, once I started dating, I was on a dating site. I see him on a dating site. But he had to use me and my best friend in his profile to make him look good. He had a picture of me, him, and my best friend at a party we threw for my sister. I'm like, he need me to make him look good. I'm like, this is a shame. But I wasn't bothered by it because I just felt like it was something about him because he was so insecure about me. Come to find out, he had a whole family that he abandoned to dwell under my roof and to stress me out about my every move. He made me feel like when I walked out the door, I was swinging off men like Tarzan. That's how he tried to push to me. You going to see a guy. Who is that in the background? Where are you at? Who is that? What is that? Come in the house looking in closets, and I'm like, something is wrong. I'm like, this guy's insecurity is, it just took me to the point where I was done. And I went on by my business. I'm like, I'm going to do me. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to live my life. Because I wasted 14 long years on this guy who badgered me. You're cheating. I changed my hair. You change your hair for another man. You know, and then he would get mad, you're an old hoe, because I was 8 years older. I'm like, this old hoe don't need you, boo. Quit blocking me since you think I'm such an old hoe. Just crazy. Just, he was sick. And I don't miss him because he stressed me so bad, accusing me, complaining about everything I did. He didn't want to see me progress. He was a jealous-hearted person. I mean, he was jealous of my accomplishments. You buying a house and da-da-da-da, and you buying a new car, da-da-da-da. So, because I'm not waiting on you to do nothing for me. Because even though you working 2 jobs, you claiming child support was eating you up from your older kids who had become grown and had their own kids. And you was claiming child support was getting you on them. But it all made sense once I saw that picture of him, her, and those children. 2 little boys. I'm like, I wonder if those little boys even respect him. He wasn't there with them and their mama. He was over with me and my grandkids, trying to be a role model to them. You know, and I figured they was divorced because his mom reached out and tried to get close to me. And before that, she'd be hiding in the car. Hi, how you doing? That was it. I'm like, okay. And I remember the first day I met her, he took me out to where she lived at. And he was like, Mom, you need to pay your cell phone. We on the account together. You need to pay your cell phone bill. She looked me in my face and was like, that's what I got a son for, to pay my bills. And I just said to myself, he gonna pay my bills too, honey, if he think he gonna be tasting these cookies. And that's exactly what happened. So, a lady that I follow on YouTube is devastated right now because she found out that her husband, 14 years, was cheating on her. And she's devastated. She said that she faked her life for the cameras because she is a vlogger for all those years, and she's just devastated. But I send her encouragement because even though you've invested all you have and all your heart, God is going to heal you, honey. And he's going to make great things happen in your life. God started healing me when I decided to let that go. So I would say we were strong for 10 years. And the last 4 years, I was pulling away. I was doing me. I was gaining traction in my life. I was making progress. And I wasn't hurt. I wasn't sad when it was over. Once I showed him the proof that I had of who he really was. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't sad. I didn't shed not one tear. I just like, this explains so much. And you are a dangerous liar. I felt bad for his wife, because her heart was ripped out. She knew about me. She knew about me. That's why his mom and sister and everybody was all standoffish. But around the time when it was discovered that he had been married all the time and telling me, we're going to get married when this and this happened, and when I do this, me and you going to get married. I already made up my mind. I'm not marrying your insecure behind. You will not stress me until the end of the days. No. Take your behind on back where you was with that craziness. So I'm not going to tolerate it. So now I'm here dating here and there, nothing serious, because I'm finding that I'm used to younger men. I decided I wanted to date men more my age. They just as bad. They is a hot mess. with their Viagra popping behinds. They are a mess. They trying to sample as many women as they can before they take that dirt nap. And I'm not here to stand in anybody's way. You know, they think they're more craftier than the younger men in lies. But then they're forgetful. They forget the lies they tell. I don't know. I'm going to take my time and see what the Lord sends my way. I'm not out here looking for anything. And I wasn't looking for that 14 years of deception. I mean, it wasn't 14 bad years until he became so insecure. And I guess it kind of happened right away. But he didn't get as deep as he did near the end, where I was just like, I can't take you no more. You're not going to call me everything but a child of God and saying that I'm just a professional old hoe when I don't know who you are once you walk out that door, my door, and close it behind you. I don't know who you are. And that's with any man. Once a man walks out your door, you don't know who they are. I'm not going to be stressed. I'm not even going to find myself in a position to fail in another relationship. Like I said, I'm 63 years old. I don't see that I have a lot of time for all this games and heartbreak. My ex-husband got out of prison, came straight looking for me.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, no, honey. You've been gone for a number of years, and you've got a lot of catching up to do in these streets. And I'm too old for what I went through with you as a young woman. No, I can't do you. So I sent him on his way. I see from Facebook that he looks like he's doing well. He has a woman who claims they've been together for 30 years. Well, honey, you know he was married. So you was the other woman and you proud of being the side piece for 30 years. Okay, have at it. He's your problem. Have at it. But Kimmie found that I've thrown myself into my grandkids and saving and raising them, but I'm getting tired of that too. I want some peace of mind. It's time for me to hop on a few planes and go somewhere and bask in the sun and get a massage, rub down, and just relax. You know, I want to stay young and healthy. I'm not going to let no man stress me out to the point where my health diminishes. I'm not going to let my kids and their children stress me out to the point where my health diminishes. And I did end up in the hospital last week for chest pains. I'm stressed. I don't want to have a stroke. I'm stressed because I have my daughter's whole family in my house. I need my peace of mind back. I'm tired of being your baby daddy, honey. I'm your baby daddy for your first group of kids. And now I'm looking like I'm going to be your baby daddy for this last set of twins. I'm tired. I need you to get your life together. If God is taking you through some things because something you ain't doing right, Don't lose me or drive me to the grave raising your kids and dealing with your issues. Kimmie is just, I'm going to try and keep this video under an hour. But it's just things that I wanted to get off my chest. I'm sending her kids over there where she is until I feel like letting them come back, because I'm tired. My house is a mess. Usually it's nobody but me and the dog. These kids are running rampant because I have to work. They don't have no discipline. The oldest girl don't do nothing but sit on the phone 24/7. And the kids stay up all night on video games. I have to unplug my internet box to force them to sleep. Kimmie's tired. I need a break. My son asked me, you need a day to yourself? I need all of myself to myself. I need you to get that house together and get these kids up out of my house. I'm going to need an overhaul when y'all gone. Right now, it done rained on all my patio stuff because they done had it out there playing. My badminton game out there getting rained on. I'm going to get up in the morning and go and take my stuff out of there. I got to hang up the cushions so that they can dry out. I just need my space back. I need my me time back. I ain't pressed to have no man in my life. I love my peace of mind. I love not having a guy turning the key in my door talking about what you doing, what you cook, who is that, who you on the phone with. I don't need that. I don't need no old man calling me to come over and let me rub on you. No. Rub on them strippers that you've been rubbing on. Get them some dollars and rub on them. You're not going to rub on me. Come over and get in my hot tub. I got my own hot tub. No, thank you. I'm working on me. I'm working on my health. I'm starting a new exercise regimen starting tomorrow. Get these arms back tight. Try and get this waist snatch without surgery. I'm not doing no surgery. Get my cellulite moved out. I gotta do it again for me. I done everything for everybody in my life because I'm a nurturer and I'm a giver. Some may call me selfish because I won't give my total all. But that's just what life is. Get yours on your own. My prayers go out to my Facebook sister. I pray for her strength and her determination, and that the blinders are kept off her face. I pray that even a new surrounding for her, so that she can't be dragged back into that pit of lies and deception. I pray for that for her. Baby, I know 14 years, that's a long time to have somebody make your life all about them. I know. I'm not doing it again. My niece told me, I seen him out in Royal Oak the other day, had on one of them yellow vests working. He looked me in my face and I rolled my eyes. He really couldn't figure out who I was, but I seen his so ugly stuff. I'm like, okay, he don't want to see me. I blocked him after I confronted him about the years of deceit. And he ain't tried to come for me because he's embarrassed of how he dogged me out about being loyal and honest when he wasn't. So he don't want to see me. He don't want to see Kimmie. And Kimmie don't want to see him. Kimmie ain't got nothing for him. I wouldn't even know what to say to him. I don't want to be like, oh, how you doing? I don't care how you doing. I ain't got nothing to say to you. And there's no way on God's beautiful earth that you can explain away all those years of deceit. And that's what us women need to stand on. A man shouldn't have the opportunity to explain away years, months, hours of deceit. Because that's who he really is. We don't need that cloak. We don't want the daggers. Some women rather be at peace alone. I can stretch out, sleep in my bed any which way I want. I don't have to cook until I feel like I want to cook for me. Well, that's not true. These kids are here. I got to feed them. And I'm telling you, I'm getting tired of that. But I ain't got to cook and wait on no man. I ain't got to wash his clothes. I ain't got to look at his phone sideways. I ain't got to do none of that. Because the way of this world right now, truth ain't in a lot of people. It is not. God ain't in a lot of people. He is not. Honesty is not in a lot of people. Loyalty is not in a lot of people. It's like finding a diamond in the rough if you can find someone with just one of those qualities. Not to say all. But I pray that everyone within the sound of my voice and who's watching this video has peace, prosperity, loyalty, and love in their life. I pray that for you. And thank you for joining me in my rant about relationship and life and introducing you to Kimmie, who Kimmie really is and where Kimmie's been and the direction Kimmie is going. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you would like this video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're a subscriber, thanks for letting me rant and rave. If you're new, I appreciate you sticking around for this. But this is one of the things Kimmie will do. I will open up to you. I'll do the hauls, I'll take the shopping, but I'll open up and let you know the real. And it's real that there's a lot of deceit going on in this world. Guard yourself from it. Stay true to you. You can only live for you. You can love others, but guard your life. Thank you for watching this video. Like I said, please like and subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you real soon. Kimmie had a good talk. Got some stuff on my chest. And Kimmie, ladies and gentlemen, Kimmie is out. You have a good night here.